We're in Staten Island at the wedding, and Brando, he gave out belts at the end, for championship belts for mooning. He went for his belt, I went for my belt. We mooned each other, mooned everybody. Some woman turned to me and said, Mr. Duvall, you're fine. But she turned to her friend and said, but did you catch the balls on that Brando? She said.
And we have sad breaking news at this hour. Legendary actor Robert Duvall has died. Duvall's family says he died in his home in Middleburg, Virginia. Last night, he was best known for his role as the Corleone family Consigliere in The Godfather Parts 1 and 2 and won.
Robert Duvall left us recently, but his most iconic performance wasn't a hero. It was the quiet consigliere Tom Hagen, who paradoxically defined Duvall's legendary career. Why? Because Duvall understood something most actors never grasp. The most powerful performances aren't about what you say, they're about what you see. Tom Hagen witnesses the complete destruction of a family and can't speak a word to stop it. If Tom Hagen meant something to you, leave a comment sharing your favorite Tom Hagen moment. Let's honor Duvall's legacy by remembering the character that defined restraint in American cinema. Today, we're exploring how Robert Duvall created a character so quietly tragic that he became the moral center of the greatest film ever made. Let's begin. Robert Duvall had a career spanning 6 decades. He played cowboys, colonels, preachers, and gangsters. He won an Oscar for playing an alcoholic country singer in Tender Mercies. But ask anyone to name Robert Duvall's defining role, and they say, Tom Hagen. Why? Because Tom Hagen is pure Duvall, the ability to communicate volumes through silence. Most actors perform. They demand attention through volume or intensity. Duvall observed. Watch any scene in The Godfather. Duvall is rarely the center of attention. He's watching them. And in those reactions, Duvall creates an entire interior life. When Vito is shot, he's not panicking, he's calculating. When Michael closes the door on Kay, he's not judging, he's grieving. This is Duvall's genius. He shows us a man suffering in silence. Tom Hagen has no big speeches. Instead, Duvall created something more difficult, a fully realized human being who lives in the margins of someone else's story. Tom is never the protagonist. He's the advisor, and Duvall made that fascinating. Made us care about the man who serves, not the man who rules. Here's what makes Tom Hagen Duvall's legacy. The character represents everything Duvall valued as an actor. Craft over ego. Tom serves the story, never demanding attention. Loyalty over ambition. Tom could have left the Corleones, built his own practice, but he stays, because family matters more than safety. These aren't Hollywood values. These are Duvall's values. And he poured them into Tom Hagen so completely that the character became inseparable from the actor. Let's talk about craft. About what Duvall actually does in The Godfather that makes Tom Hagen unforgettable. Duvall understood that Tom Hagen's power is in his eyes. He's the man who sees everything. Tom Hagen never raises his voice. He speaks calmly, even when delivering terrible news. And somehow that makes it more menacing, because Tom's calm suggests that terrible things happen whether he's calm or not. Duvall understood that power doesn't shout, and Tom Hagen wields enormous power through his proximity to the Don. Tom doesn't take up space. He's there to observe, and Duvall's physicality communicates this. This is masterclass acting, creating a character through subtraction, not addition. But here's what makes Duvall's performance legendary. Underneath all that restraint, you can see Tom's tragedy. He loves this family, and he's watching them destroy themselves. Tom has realized something terrible. His loyalty is enabling the very destruction he's trying to prevent. And Tom can see it all happening and is powerless to stop it. Duvall shows us a man trapped by his own virtues. Tom's loyalty is beautiful, and it's destroying him. Robert Duvall's legacy through Tom Hagen isn't just about one great performance. It's about an approach to acting that's increasingly rare. Tom Hagen never hijacks a scene. Duvall understood that Tom's job is to facilitate everyone else's stories. And by serving the story so completely, Duvall created something more memorable than most leading performances. Duvall doesn't explain Tom's emotions. He trusts us to watch. When Tom realizes Michael is going to kill Fredo, Duvall doesn't give us a big reaction. This is the opposite of modern acting, where everything must be explicit. Tom Hagen is limited. He's not Sicilian. This limitation could make the character smaller. Instead, Duvall uses them to make Tom more interesting. Duvall shows us that limitations don't diminish characters, they define them. Here's what Robert Duvall gave us through Tom Hagen: a portrait of loyalty and quiet tragedy that reminds us what great acting actually is. It's not big speeches or explosive moments or scenery-chewing performances, it's observation. Tom Hagen doesn't have the flashiest role in The Godfather, but he might have the most difficult one. We lost Robert Duvall recently, and with him went a connection to a different era of acting, an era where craft mattered more than celebrity. In a culture obsessed with attention, Duvall created a character defined by restraint. Robert Duvall's legacy is defined by Tom Hagen because Tom embodies everything Duvall believed about acting. Duvall created a consigliere who witnesses tragedy and remains silent. That's not just great acting, that's art. That's why Tom Hagen will be remembered as long as people watch The Godfather. Share your favorite Tom Hagen moment in the comments. Let's celebrate Robert Duvall's life by remembering the character that showed us what restraint looked like on screen. Rest in peace, Robert Duvall. Thank you for showing us that the most powerful performances don't need to be the loudest. Subscribe to honor the legacy of cinema's greatest character actors. For more Godfather analysis, watch this video on screen now. I'll see you in the next one.